Hey everybody, it's Rico Suave here, and I want to talk to you guys about Wi-Fi. Now, in this day and age, Wi-Fi is very important. It allows us to stay connected to family, friends, loved ones. And if you're one of those people who can be completely off the grid and don't need Wi-Fi and life's better without it, more power to you. However, for many of us, myself included, Wi-Fi is something that is just an everyday reality in staying in touch and in contact with those that I love and care about. So without further ado, let's talk about Wi-Fi. Now, for someone like myself who's constantly on the go, you have three options when it comes to Wi-Fi. Option number one is always staying close enough and going to places where you know that have Wi-Fi, whether that's an RV park or a stadium, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, whether you're going to a place that has full hookup or you are boondocking, dry camping in an area. Basically knowing that that area is going to have Wi-Fi ahead of, in advance is going to be a way to determine the fact that you have Wi-Fi. So the upside of that is usually free. Downside of that is you are highly constricted by the distance you are from that connection, severely restricted. Second option is to get a mobile hotspot. Great thing about a mobile hotspot is it's yours and you can travel with it. So you always have it wherever you go. There's a downside to it as well, though. The downside to having a mobile hotspot is, if you're like me, I don't want to have a 1 year, 2 year service contract that I have to constantly pay and have. Because of my job, I may not be able to take advantage of it to the best of my ability. Second reason is the fact that if you go to an area, like the area that I'm currently at, the service provider does not give, it's a dead zone. The service provider cannot provide Wi-Fi to that area. So always be sure before you do that you check the map and see that where you fall actually does have service for your Wi-Fi plan or connection, even if it is pay-as-you-go. And the third downside to mobile hotspots is most of the time, I haven't really found one yet, but there's a cap to how much data you can use before you get charged exponentially. So you were only given so much data that you can use before you get charged extra. So that's more money coming out of your pocket. The third option, this option I decided to do, is get a Wi-Fi range extender. Mine is through Amp Wireless. Now this one is definitely overkill for what I need it for. Is a 10,000 square foot, 600 milliwatt amperage output system. This guy right here has 5 ports in the back for connecting devices that are not wireless, whether that be a TV, game console, computer, etc. So this device is definitely overkill for what I need it for. This particular unit is what's used for most businesses and industries, but I love it and worth every penny. Upsides to having a Wi-Fi range extender, especially one this big, is I'm not as like the first option I mentioned. Whenever there's Wi-Fi, but I'm not severely range is not that big of an issue. Where I'm at, I'm on 119 acres. Before I had the range extender, using my laptop to try to connect to a device or try and connect to the internet, I had 1, maybe 2 bars. So I was constantly losing service, which is really frustrating when you're somebody who's trying to get in contact with someone that you care about, when you're trying Netflix or what have you. So for me, it was always a constant battle trying to get connection. Now, not only do I have full service on that connection, but I feel like I can connect to any Wi-Fi in town. I have a huge list of Wi-Fi connections that are available. Now, if you were to take the system to a city, which it's crazy. The amount of connections you have is you just don't even know what to do with all of them. So for me, for what I've seen it for now and for what I've used it for, always have connection. Never had a problem getting connection, which is great. So the downside and another upside is, since it's Wi-Fi that's already available, there's no data restriction, there's no data limit. I don't have to worry about overusing my data and being charged for it. It's a one-time payment that I make. The downside, there is a downside like there is to everything. The downside is it can only connect to Wi-Fi that's available. But having a 10,000 square foot range at 600 milliwatts makes it very easy to find said connection. Now, what does that 600 milliwatts actually mean? Well, most devices have an output range of 50 milliwatts. This is 600, so this is 12 times more powerful than your average Wi-Fi connection, which is great. So if you're going to rough it, wouldn't it be nice to be able to rough it with Wi-Fi, being able to curl up on the couch and watch Netflix? I'm just saying. Now, there's a caveat. I know where you're going already. If there is a situation where an EMP blast happens or the power grid goes down, I mean, who's really preparing for an all collapse of society, right? Who's really preparing for that? But if you were to be preparing for it, it's very lightweight and it fits in a Faraday cage. I'm just saying. Anyway, back to being on subject. For me, this third option is really fits my lifestyle, and I'm really glad I have it. Like I said before, this is definitely overkill for what I need it for, but hey, when you have to get the job done, you have to get the job done. So, especially for me, you know, this is the holiday season. Being able to stay and connect with family and friends is also really great. And also, this system right here, as I said before, it's really great, super powerful, and it also works for PC and Mac. So, if that's something that you're, not sure because you have a PC or you have a Mac, you can use it on both interfaces. I'm sure most technologies like that, but just throwing that out there. So I'm not necessarily saying that you have to go with the AMP wireless industrial strength Wi-Fi connection here, but it's definitely good to know your options. So those are really your options when you're RVing. You can either get close enough, really close to already pre-existing Wi-Fi connection, you can get a mobile hotspot, or lastly, you can get a range extender. With me personally, I went with a range extender, but when it really comes down to it in this day and time in this season, being able to connect with the ones you love and care about, no matter the situation, is great. So if there's Wi-Fi to be found, you better believe this range extender will find it. Well, I hope everyone has a great holiday season, and as always, long live the Republic.